Welcome back, genius. I've worked from home for a long time. My first corporate job after I got my master's degree, I worked remote. I worked from home about 80% of the time. When I opened my own business, I continued to work from home, and it's an adjustment. When you work in an office, it's easier to create a routine. You have to wake up at a certain time to start your morning commute. When you're on that daily journey, you see a series of the same people every day. Same with after work, lunch, and special occasions. If you've been used to that routine, or even if you already worked from home, working from home in this unprecedented time is totally different. My name is Vivian Oleden. I'm an author and an entrepreneur. I wrote the interactive journal, Stumbling Through Adulthood. In this video, I'm going to talk about key changes to consider when you make the transition to work from home. If that sounds interesting to you, hit the like button, subscribe, and keep watching. Living in South Florida, it's normal to have a contingency plan to work from home. We have weather changes that can put the city down for days or weeks. The same is true for many places around the globe. Natural disasters like hurricanes, snowstorms, earthquakes, and the like. Normal everyday changes like relocations, family changes, medical conditions are all reasons to work from home. At the moment, it's a global pandemic that has many of us behind closed doors working from our home office. My business, Flourish Media, is a marketing training and development company that helps small businesses in transition. So we weren't surprised when the Miami tourism community hired us to host a region-wide webinar to help small businesses in hospitality, tourism, and the arts build a plan to work from home. We created a custom workbook for those businesses, and you can find an altered copy in the description box that you can download for free. Let's break down working from home into 5 different considerations. Policies, equipment, internal communication, external communication, and a family plan. The first thing to consider is a written set of policies about working from home. If you don't have one, we included a sample inside of your workbook. Things change quickly. Write down what's happening so you can use it for later. What about the equipment? You and your staff need stuff in order to keep the business afloat. The next question is, who's supposed to supply it and who's supposed to buy it? Inside of your policies and in your internal communication, you should let your team know where their equipment is supposed to come from. If you're moving it from your existing office and disseminating it to the staff, you would need to have some type of checkout policy and insurance on those items in case they get broken. Where should it be stored? The next thing to consider is internal communication. Your staff that's used to all being in one location are now all over the place. They're in their homes, and depending on the size of your business or the type of business that you run, you may even have international team members. So now you need to consider time zones. Things like using WhatsApp, Slack, and other tools that allow your team to communicate in real time are really important and something that you should look into. Naturally, the next thing is your external communication. How are you going to maintain that customer service with your clients and customers? A great way to be able to do that is to maintain all of your meetings and to start to integrate video conferencing. All of us have been hearing about Zoom. Everybody's having all these Zoom calls, but you do have other platforms that you can use, like Uber Conference or Google Hangouts. There's also Skype, especially if you're working with, again, people who are maybe not located in the United States. Skype is very popular in the international market. You also want to make sure that you're sharing updates to your clients and customers, especially if you're a restaurant, or in this case, again, this whole training was put together for people in tourism to say, is that cruise going to be canceled? Are you still having that event in April, in June, in August, in November? Let people know where you are. Also, you may think, well, I'm getting so many emails. I don't want to inundate my people with emails. At this time, this is the time to do it. You need to really remember that your human to human interaction with others. And something as simple as letting your audience know that your business is still open is important. Because the fact of the matter is, in this particular time, there's a number of different businesses that will close down and never open again. If that's not the case, and even if it is, it's important that you keep your customers and clients updated. So family. And family, I'm using very loosely. This could be your roommate. This can be somebody that you're not related to in any way, but people that you're sharing your personal space with. It's super important that you're able to communicate with them what the expectations are now that you're all home. This time is so different from when you would work from home before this pandemic, because you really wouldn't be spending any of the same time with others. But now every single person, from someone in kindergarten to someone in high school to your retired family and friends, they are all home. So it's important to have a conversation about where you're working, the volume in which you need it to be, if you're wearing your headphones, how often you can be interrupted, how often you're going to need breaks, who's responsible for what. All of these things need to be discussed. And the sooner you have the conversation, the better it will be. Be patient. This is happening to everyone. Remote work is the future, and it's also right now. Don't judge yourself. Be flexible. Be patient with yourself. There's no expectation that you're supposed to know how to do this effectively, perfectly right now. Remember that this won't last, but parts of it should. I hope you found this useful. Find me on social media. I'm at Vivian Olo on all of the platforms. You can download that workbook. The link is in the description box. If you'd like to connect and you want some one-on-one attention, I always include a one-time advisory call is right there in the description as well. You can schedule yourself. And you know what? I'm sending you so much support and moral support for all of this really strange time. You can handle this. You can make it through this. Do not judge yourself. If you need to woo-saw it out, woo-saw it out. This thing will not last, okay? It's going to be okay. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this information useful. Make sure that you take advantage of those free goodies down in the description box, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Are you still here? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this information useful, and I'd love to hear from you. So comment below, like, subscribe, find me on social media. I would love to know, what do you want to see next from me? And are you working from home or have you been laid off? How are you dealing with this time? Bye.